I seen him fight his last fight. He was tired in that 12-round span. Like, you can tell every time he fight, it's always like a gas tank problem.
Anybody. But Tank is a different animal too. So it's a great fight. Everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win. Oh, he gonna no.
Going there and he's very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't there. And Lamont wasn't having it.
Shakur Stevenson warns Lamont Roach against a rematch with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, calling Davis the greatest with unmatched power. He says Tank is crushing opponents and won't give Roach another lucky shot. With Davis looking stronger than ever, Shakur urges Roach to think twice or face brutal consequences.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking.
Shakur Stevenson admits a potential fight with Gervonta Davis would be his toughest test. He acknowledges Davis's power, skill, and unpredictability, calling him a real threat. Shakur respects Davis as a dangerous opponent who could truly push him to his limits, knowing the battle would be anything but easy.
What would be your hardest matchup? Devin Haney, Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't say it before, but I'm gonna say it. Like, him the big fight.
Aiming to silence all doubt. This time there will be no excuses. He doesn't just want to win the rematch. He wants to make a statement and prove exactly who he is. Gervonta "Tank" Davis looks more powerful and jacked than ever in new training footage, showcasing his intense focus and impressive physical transformation. His tweet, "Somebody is in trouble," has fans buzzing, signaling that he's locked in and ready to dominate. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. calls Davis a different kind of beast in the ring. While Jones admits the upcoming fight is unpredictable, he believes Tank's raw power and elite skill will ultimately shine through. Jones expects Davis to make a statement, dominate his opponent, and remind everyone why he's a force no one should underestimate. Gervonta Davis has recently partnered with a new coach, signaling a fresh and more serious approach as he gears up for his upcoming rematch. This shift marks a departure from his usual routine, focusing on refining fundamentals and boosting stamina. His training now appears more structured and disciplined. Observers have noted Davis's renewed commitment and intensity in the gym, suggesting he fully understands what's at stake. The changes reflect a fighter determined to evolve and do whatever.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta to just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's been a coming out part of the Roach, but we kind of haven't seen him a lot. So he gets to show people where he is too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxing as amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. And then when the pro round takes over, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet? Or is Tank too superior as a pro? That's where the difference is coming in.
Roach is coming up on weight. That, a lot of people keep on saying that's a very big disadvantage for Roach. His power might not transfer to to this weight class. What do you got to say about that to the critics?
Well, I ain't really got nothing to say to the critics because most of the time they don't know the hell they talking about no weight, but I was able to carry my weight from 154 to heavyweight. You know how to do it right, your weight, your punch will come. You don't know how to do it right, then yeah, you're going to lose your punch. So if he's a good, fundamentally sound fighter with a punch, he'll have a punch at 130, then he'll have a punch at 140. If he's not really fundamentally that sound, then he won't. That's why Tank will jump around. Tank walk between 130 and 140, whatever weight he wants to. Why? Because he's a great fundamental puncher. So his punch will be the same no matter what weight he got. If you are fundamentally sound, that don't matter. But if you're not fundamentally sound, yeah, when you look weight, you're going to lose your punch.
That's exactly what what I thought you would say. Like, breaking that down and making it understand that from 130, 135 to 140, I mean, you got to carry that power with you, and how are you going to punch?
If you got fundamentals, you're going to carry it automatically. I took it all with a heavyweight, from a junior middleweight.
There's a growing belief that Gervonta Davis wasn't at his best in the first fight, whether due to distractions or flawed strategy. Fans and critics agree he underperformed. Now, with his reputation on the line, Davis appears focused on redemption. His recent actions suggest he's aiming to silence all doubt. This time there will be no excuses. He doesn't just want to win the rematch. He wants to make a statement and prove exactly who he is.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Kevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or is adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments.
Experts and boxing fans have noted Gervonta Davis's recent silence, especially as Lamont Roach continues to speak out in interviews and on social media. While Roach stays in the spotlight, Davis has kept a low profile. Analysts believe this quiet approach is intentional, signaling intense, behind-the-scenes preparation and focus. The stark contrast between Roach's talk and Davis's silence has fueled speculation that Tank is locked in and planning something major for the upcoming rematch.
Breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown. But ultimately, it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means. And that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it at Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back, calling the upcoming rematch absolutely crucial for both fighters. He believes neither has a clear advantage, and each will need to be at their absolute best to win. Hackett warned that any slip-up could cost Davis the fight. He stressed the importance of staying mentally locked in and bringing full intensity to the ring. This time, he said, there's no room for complacency or overconfidence. Every moment will count.
Oh yeah, so we hearing that they got the fight set and scheduled, and it's going to be in Vegas, and it's going to be this August. So yeah, it's basically just been reported. I'm not gonna lie, we knew it was gonna happen because they both said they down to do it. They both said they gotta do the rematch because it was too close. All I'm gonna say is, I'm hoping that boy Tank, because he been quiet lately. Lamont, you been yapping. Talking about you should have won. You keep dwelling on that little almost close win. That boy Gervonta, that Tank, he been... We ain't never seen Tank in this mode. I will say that Lamont, you're a very skilled fighter. But you should be nervous because we ain't never seen Tank like this. He's quiet. Like, he's literally hushed, bro. You just see him training. And now out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, we can set the fight up. That's actually dangerous. That's actually dangerous when you think about it. Like, dude ain't said a word. Even once the fight was over and pressed, he got the little hat on. He's like, yeah, man, we can do the rematch. And he said it. I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train. I'm going to just be quiet and work. Good match to Lamont. I ain't going to lie. If I was Lamont, I'll be a little nervous. You ain't got to be scared, but I will be a little nervous because usually Tank, he the one that's like, yeah, don't bring your moms to the fight. Don't bring your people to the fight. Dude been real hush-hush lately. I'm not going to lie, y'all. They said the fight set up for August. I might have to go to this one in person. In August is my birthday month. I might have to go to this one in person, bro. Because this right here, at this point, they're rivals now. This is like the perfect boxing story. They come from the same side of the Sammy the mat. Come from the same gym and camp. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at it since they was kids. It's like the perfect boxing story, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, we might have to be in there in person. But like I said, y'all already know how I go. When it come down to I'm putting my money on my boy Tank. Lamont, you definitely are skilled, and I'm going into this fight knowing that basically I know you gonna put up a good one. But I got my money on Tank. We ain't never seen Tank like this, bro. Dude quiet, and he ain't saying nothing. The fight just got booked. Oh yeah.
Former champion Mikey Garcia offered a more measured take on the rematch, noting that Gervonta Davis typically learns from past mistakes and is likely to come in better prepared. Garcia praised Davis's ring IQ but cautioned that none of it matters if his mindset isn't right. He warned that mental lapses could undo all the hard physical work. Garcia even stated that if Davis isn't fully focused and locked in, he shouldn't step into the ring at all.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah,
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45 Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130, and not only did he not get knocked out, he performed, possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge, just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they're very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't there, and Lamont wasn't having it. And he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused. Because if he's not the most focused, then he's gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night. And you can't play about it. You gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for. And he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Kenny Ellis, a longtime member of Davis's coaching team, weighed in on Roach's intense training videos. While acknowledging Roach's hard work, Ellis stressed that gym performance and real fight endurance are very different. He emphasized that Davis's fights go beyond conditioning. They're about absorbing punches, staying calm under pressure, and having the will to win. To Ellis, heart and determination matter far more than just practice or physical preparation.
And hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, I'm surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, and maybe they get a third fight, after that. Who knows?
Maybe it turns into Marcus Pacquiao.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, shit, he'll get a third fight. Right.
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that edge?
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. I mean, if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
It seems like a lot of fighters are going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him do it, let him do it. I don't know.
Since the last fight ended controversially, fans have debated endlessly over who truly won. Some believe Roach did enough, while others argue Davis had the edge. Now, the rematch is seen as the definitive answer. Both fighters have something to prove, and the audience demands clarity. No more draws or debates, just one clear winner to settle the score once and for all.
You see a different Lamont Roach coming into this fight?
No, I don't. I tell people all the time, no offense, no, this is not a Lamont Roach fight.
a fighter can do everything in the gym, man. They can do their push-ups, their pull-ups, they can run 10 miles a day, they can eat their diet, they can change their diet, they can do everything right, but it have to be in your DNA to take pain. You know what I'm saying? Are you willing and able to take the pain that come with this shit? That's for any fight. You know?
Right.
And that's the difference in a lot of the fights. You gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Now,
in the actual fight, not the training, in the actual fight.
In the actual fight, what's the difference between, you know, the pain inside the gym gearing up to the fight versus the lights and you know, being on Showtime?
No, the workout pain, muscle sore, fatigue, that's different, but
they prepare you for those lights.
That pain in the actual fight, man. When shit get rattled, your eggs get scrambled, your eyes get blurry, your fucking mouth and nose get fucked up. You know, a little bit of everything. Body shots. You just gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it. You know, getting your equilibrium every other round.
Pressure is even greater this time for Gervonta Davis. If he falls short again, especially without a valid excuse, it could seriously impact his reputation in the boxing world. While one loss might be seen as a bad night, a second defeat in a high-stakes rematch could raise serious doubts about his legacy. Fans and critics may question if he truly belongs among the sport's elite. With his reputation, pride, and future opportunities all at stake, Davis must deliver. This fight could define his standing for years to come.
I just want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won is just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I thought this is the perfect match. If anybody's going to do a rematch, you need to be there on period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not going to lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not going to lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him birthday props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency from him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch didn't happen because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
Kenny Ellis has been hinting at major changes in Tank's camp ahead of the rematch, though he hasn't revealed any specifics. His tone, however, suggests something special is in the works. Ellis insists this fight will be very different from the first, sparking intense curiosity. His silence on details only adds to the mystery surrounding Davis's preparation. Whatever is happening behind the scenes, his team believes it will have a big impact on fight night. The upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has captured the boxing world's attention like never before. With Davis bringing in a new coach and training harder than ever, the pressure to prove himself and silence doubts from their first bout is immense. Analysts, former champions, and Davis's own team agree. There's no room for mistakes. While Roach remains confident and vocal, Davis's quiet focus signals he's locked in and ready.
Match happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck?
It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? It's really how your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely, and off of just a personal opinion of the person, their history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank did really show him something at the second half, I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that to flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. Now I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit again.
That's all for today's video. See you next